Hi all. I sighed weakly as my vision blurred. My stomach throbbed in pain, and my dress, once a bright lemon green, was now drenched in dirt and something darker. I sat slumped in a cold, damp dungeon. Chains clanged above me, holding my hands, cutting into my skin with every breath. The air was thick with the smell of old stone, wet earth, and something else: decay, betrayal, and despair. For 5 long years, I gave my life to Aiden Silverstone. I gave him every part of me, my loyalty, my body, my love. I endured everything he put me through. Every unkind word, every moment of coldness, every manipulation. Even when it hurt, I stayed. Even when he turned cruel, I hoped. I believed there was something left in him that was worth loving. But I was wrong. When I needed him most, he wasn't there. When I begged him to listen, he turned away. When Carla, my own cousin, whispered lies in his ear, he believed her. He turned his back on me, on us, on the child I carried. He stood there and watched as I cried, as I begged, as I broke. And he did nothing. Carla told him I planned to poison him. She told him she carried his child, a lie he clung to without question. He let me fall while thinking he had someone else to raise. But the child in Carla's womb isn't his. It never was. And the one that was truly his is now gone. The dungeon doors creaked open. Carla stepped in, wearing a twisted grin, her hand gently stroking her round belly. I tried to stand. My body trembled with rage, but I was too weak to move. "Hello, cousin," she said sweetly. Her voice dripped with venom. "Aiden gave me permission to deal with you however I want. He said he doesn't care what happens to you." I looked away, heart sinking deeper. But even in my shattered state, anger flickered within me. Rage, betrayal, heartbreak, they all danced in my veins. "You know," Carla continued as she slowly walked around me, "we've been through so much, haven't we? It's funny. Family turning on each other like this." She crouched in front of me, her eyes gleaming with cruelty. "Do you remember when your parents were accused of treason? When your father was stripped of his beta title? When your mother disappeared? Do you remember being sent to live in my house as nothing more than a servant?" I clenched my teeth. "My father never tried to kill Alpha Curtis." She chuckled. "Oh, I know. Because mine did. My father framed yours, all so he could take the beta rank." I froze stunned. My heart thudded in disbelief as she rose and continued pacing. "You were strong, even as a child. One day, my father saw you training. He noticed something unusual. After some digging, he discovered the truth." She turned to me and smiled coldly. "You, Selene, are the Moon Wolf, the one from the prophecy, the embodiment of the moon goddess." I stared at her, the world spinning around me. "But we couldn't allow that," she added. "You see, if the pack knew, you'd have power, influence. So instead, we fed you small doses. We made you weak. For 7 years, since you turned 16, we've been poisoning you. Slowly, silently. You couldn't shift. You couldn't grow. You couldn't lead." My heart cracked. My breath hitched. Everything I had believed, all the doubts, all the pain, it made sense now. "You lived your whole life as a servant," she continued. "You thought you were powerless. But in truth, you were the strongest of us all." She leaned in close. "And now, you'll die thinking you were nothing. Just like your parents. Erased. Forgotten." She stood, brushing invisible dust from her robe. "Think about that, cousin. If you have any happy memories, dwell on those now. I just thought it would be poetic for you to know the truth before the end." She turned to leave, her final words hanging in the air like ash. "You were a fun toy to break." I wanted to scream, to fight, to cry, but my body was failing. Darkness crept into my vision. No, no, no. This can't be it. Tears slid from my eyes as I screamed into the black void. "I don't want to die like this. I want justice. For my parents, for my child, for myself." My voice echoed through the silence. Give me another chance. Let me write this. Please. They can't win. And suddenly there was light. A soft, glowing light that filled the darkness. She appeared, a woman too beautiful for words. Radiant. Timeless. Her presence warmed my soul. Celine, she spoke gently. Your pain has reached me. My breath caught. I knew who she was. Moon goddess, I whispered. She smiled. You deserve justice. You shall have it. I will return you to a time before all this began. My heart swelled. Will I see my parents again? She shook her head gently. You cannot save their lives, but you can clear their name. That is within your power now. I hesitated. My hand drifted to my stomach. And my child. The goddess cupped my face. She will return to you in another form. Another form, I asked softly. Another soul. Another path. You will know her when the time comes. She stepped closer, her voice filled with power and grace. Celine Moonlight, rise again. Walk the path meant for you. This is your second chance. Use it wisely. She kissed my forehead, and then the light consumed me.